Great. Well, I'll start with the introductions then. So hello everyone and welcome to the 11th Ask Me Anything with Decentraland and Fertilian's Solution Squad. And while everyone joins, I'll do links for you guys. Here, Nia, let me paste in links the Slido in case you want to add any questions during the event. And and also all the past AMAs are also recorded and shared on our DAO YouTube channel, and here is the link to that playlist for you guys as well. So today also we have a special event happening after the AMA, and I'm welcoming all you guys to join us. We have our, at 10:30, so half an hour after the AMA, we have our Decentraland Discord, we have our grants program event. It's been about 2 months now since the grants program paused, and the Decentraland DAO Community Grants Program has been refreshed, which is amazing and awesome. Great work, Pablo, Grant Support Squad. So on the Discord today, the Grant Support Squad and the Governance Squad will give an overview and a Q&A so that all you guys can learn about everything, all the changes and made to the program. And next, in regards to our AMA agenda, next week will be on March 8th. Team. And for further information on any upcoming AMAs, let me paste the link right here. This has all the info for any upcoming AMAs for you guys. And for those of you who are new to these AMAs have been created by the Grant Support Squad in order to enable more effective communication and build connections between the Decentraland Foundation and grantees. So if any of you guys face any challenges or require further information, please feel free to head over to the Decentraland Discord channel and reach out to the Grant Support Squad or the Decentraland Studios as well. So for today, we have Gary, who is the Explorer Product Manager from the Decentraland Foundation. Thanks so much, Alvaro, for being here. And with that, I will pass it on.
Thank you very much for the introduction, Natalie. Hello, everybody. So I am here on behalf of the whole Explorer team. I'm no longer the product manager of the whole Explorer, but the product manager of the part of social. So the Explorer team has been now divided between the core team, the discoverability team, and the social and identity. That is the one that I'm leading right now. So I'm going to be sharing my screen, right? Because we have this presentation ready here. So let me know when you can see this. Is it visible right now?
Yes.
Cool. Thank you, Gia. So if you have any question during the process that we're going to be talking the presentation, you can have the slider here. You can scan with your QR code, or you can go to the Slido with this ID and add any question, any comments, anything that comes to mind. And also vote on the most preferred ones on the comments of others, so we can prioritize in the second half of the conversation. When we finish the presentation, we will try to be answering all your questions and your concerns. Okay, so let's go first for, we have the first in line is going to be the core work stream. That is going to be my good friend Ashley, as far as I know.
Yes.
So Ashley, it's all yours.
Okay, great. So this AMA, we're going to quickly go through some of the improvements we've made since the last one. So one of the main things we've been focusing on recently is improving the load times. So we have some metrics which you can see here. We were sort of hitting the 40 to 45 seconds on average, and we've reduced that to around 30. And generally, people are getting in to the Decentraland experience within about 5 to 10 seconds now, which is obviously a massive improvement since last time. We're still working on various ways to cache on desktop, which should also improve load times even further. And this is going to be further ongoing over the next few months. So we should find that you're dropping into the experience much quicker soon. Okay, next slide. Okay, so the FPS improvements, we've basically improved the FPS by nearly 50% on the higher end devices. So those of you with larger screen resolutions, we've tackled some shader problems, and therefore most people should now be hitting an average of 60 FPS across the board. We're still tackling various hiccups, which I know people are experiencing, but we have a big roadmap ahead of us to improve the experience overall. And obviously the web is not as good as Gain as the native resolutions, but it's still pretty good. Okay, next slide. And with the recent FPS improvements, which you've been also working on, we've reduced the number of hiccups. If you want to know what hiccup is, it's basically when the frame rate drops to a certain point and the experience becomes a little bit less friendly, shall we say, and not smooth. So with the increase in FPS, we're able to process more things quickly, which means that the experience overall should feel smoother since this recent improvement. And we have some big refactors coming up, which should even more vastly improve this hiccup metric as well. Next slide. And okay, so I put this slide up anyway. The critical errors look really bad. Now this is our metrics that we view to see how stable Decentraland is. Now, as a lot of you know, we use the Unity engine. Now we're working directly with the Unity partners at the moment because there is a specific Unity related crash which happens only on the exit of the application. We now have that on the way to being fixed in the next few weeks, so these metrics will vastly improve and we will reduce the number of critical errors by 80 to 90%, which will give us more visibility on some of the specific errors that you guys are facing within Decentraland. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so the next steps for us over the next month or so, we're working on some texture compression features. The SDK allows you to use external textures, and we're implementing a resize feature so that it will make sure that you can run the smaller textures without you having to provide them. I've already spoken about the Unity updates to improve the critical errors. We've got further load time optimizations coming soon. We're doing a map rework, so the map is being completely refactored to improve the performance. And we're also going back to SDK 6, which is there now, and we're improving performance there as well. And there's much more going on in the pipeline as well, but there's too much to discuss here. So next slide. I think it might move. Okay, social work stream.
Okay, so that is me, I guess. So as we mentioned in a previous technical AMA, the social work stream was one of the divisions where we created within the Explorer team, and it's focused to provide the players with the best system to interact with and create communities and build your own digital identity that can interact with any kind of virtual environment or digital environment. Okay. So what I want to do first is to thank everybody that joins the social feature workshop that we did like maybe a month ago or a few weeks ago. I don't remember exactly, but it was a really good experience for me and for many people that approached me after that. I think this is something that we definitely need to do more often. So it's probably something that I'm gonna incorporate in my pipeline and my workflow for every quarter. So what happened? Some people is sharing in the screen right now. What is going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Someone is sharing on their phone. So, and I don't know who that is. Would be
Not sure if I have permission to.
it's Pablo, right? It's Pablo sharing.
Wait a minute. I don't know what happened.
That was strange.
Okay, I
Sorry,
think
I'm gonna leave the meeting and come back again.
okay, I was saying, oh yes, that we did that community workshop together, and we prioritize on several features that we have in mind. So what I'm gonna do is then on the next iteration, on the next quarter, maybe in April, I'm gonna probably incorporate all those features that were added in the second part of the meeting, so we can do an iteration of that, so we can still vote on the next things, right? At the end of the day, this is how we want to assemble a roadmap. It is part of the priorities of the foundation and a big part of what the community wants. And this is a trade-off between how feasible something it is and how much the community would love to see that implemented in Decentraland. So thank you very much for joining, and I will love to see you in the next one as we organize it. So now I want to show you that we are working on a few of the features. Some of the things here I need to update it, but we are right now working on mentions. So probably by the end of the next week, we will have, I hope that will have mentions in the chat, so you can ping other people and they will get notified. We will start working on the copy and paste functionality across the interface for all parts of the Decentraland. So you can copy descriptions, infos, chat messages, or you can paste links and all of that. And it's going to be done after mentions. And also something that it was highly requested in the session that we had last week, and we worked really fast in order to try to accommodate this in the roadmap. It is about the Backpack 2.0, and I'm gonna show you something now. I'm gonna show you something later because now we have the graphics. I want to share some of the information that I have with you for you. Last 11th of January, we released the passport with the new shader that allows to mouse over avatars and click on them. I want to show you that the social interaction and this, oh, you don't have the title, cool, but I will tell you what that is. This is the amount or the percentage of social or friend requests that are either accepted or rejected. So since the last improvement that we had with the notifications and the messages included in there, we passed from an average of 25, 27% to a very good one, 60, 70% of requests accepted. So this is highly improving our interaction inside the platform. And another good topic is about the passport. Having the ability to click on a passport on an avatar while your mouse is unlocked and clicking on a passport and see the avatar in 3D and inspect all the wearables and collectibles, it has increased, it has multiplied by 3 the number of passports that are open in the platform. So again, this is being quite successful, and this is something as well that we did here in the community. So let's go back to the roadmap, and I have one more. It's about the number of names that are being used by the player. So on average, we have like 7.5% of players that have a name that are using the platform on a daily basis. We are now ramping up as we are increasing the value of what a name means. We are not increasing the price, we're increasing what a name means inside the Decentraland with the new with worlds and with the new things that are going to be showing now on the backpack. So this is pretty cool. So now, what is the next thing? This is about the backpack. On 1 month ago, we mentioned several things, several features that were including in your avatar or your digital identity. One of the most requested one was to have outfits. So we decided to put together several of those features and have a new backpack that is gonna be showing you now. So I'm gonna be showing you now on this Figma. So I hope everybody can see Figma. It's okay? It's working okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna hide the UI. So you can see here that now we're gonna be moving from a backpack that have sections on the top. So you select on a section and you equip something from that to a place where you can see all that you have equipped in this column here and which elements are being hidden by others. As you know, some of the wearables have a specific ticks that marks like this is going to be hiding the glasses or you're going to be hiding the mask, etc. So with this, we're going to have much more control and much more information about how your avatar is looking and why some other details may be hiding these ones, right? And here you will have a pagination with all the items. So if particularly I want to be, this one is the same one. Let me see. If I want to equip a boot, we're going to have a more flexible avatar preview. So it means that if you have a wearable that is traditionally in the bottom or in the shoes, the camera going to go down on that part of the avatar. But at the same time, as you can see on the cross here, you will have the ability to pan, zoom in, zoom out, rotate your avatar, and have a better look at whatever you're equipping, okay? Also, when you click on a wearable, it will be very present, the information of the wearable. So we're always going to have, when you click on one, it will be previewing that on your avatar, but it won't be equipping it. It will be showing you which things they replace, which thing they hide, the metadata, and maybe if you open that and extend that information, we can show who is the creator of that wearable and link into a marketplace, what is the issue number of that NFT, and much more in the future, because we want wearables to contain much more metadata, so it can be used then later on gameplay or other features. As you can see here, boots gonna be replacing this item, and it's gonna be hiding this item, so you can know what is going to be expected when you equip it on your avatar. We will have a fancy animation when you equip it, as we have now. And what else that I want to show you? Now, as you see on the top bar, you will be able to sort by number, by name, by newest, by rarest, and also you will be able to search for your wearables. So as you can see here now, if you have a new item and the item has been in your backpack for less than 24 hours, it's gonna be flagged as new. So you can look for then, if you got a new wearable in the Metaverse Fashion Week, and you're gonna find it out pretty quickly in your backpack by sorting by newest, and you will see a label there. Some other things that are important is that this is filtered by all, but the sections work at the same time as slots. So you can see what things are equipped in your inventory, but also they serve to filter by the type of things that can be equipped at that. So if I click on the mustache or the facial hair, it's gonna be filtering all the items in the grid by that category, as you can see here, right? If I click on the mustache, it's gonna be filtering everything by the mustache, and you're gonna be complementing with the same functionality as we had before with all the sections on the top. So the sections on the top become the filters and become at the same time the slots. One good thing at the same time is that we want to be able to modify all the colors in one section. So we have all colors in the section here, the color picker, but you will be able to modify the skin, the hair, the eye colors, and maybe soon other things that we have in the chamber that I'm gonna be talking right now, but maybe other colors in the future as well. Also, I didn't mention, but with this toggle, you can hide base wearable. This was highly requested for a lot of people. So if you don't want to see the base wearable anymore, you can type that and forget about them forever. And the next thing, it will be about outfits. So we will be storing outfits, and we'll give the possibility to store an X number of outfits for you. If you really think you look nice, you will be able to go to the outfit section, click on an empty slot, and you're gonna save it for you so you can wear it later, okay? We're gonna have, we don't know yet, okay? There is something that we are deciding, but we want to give extra values to names and also the ability to swap your identity pretty quickly. So if you have a name, it's gonna be appearing as another slots in the outfit inventory, and it's gonna give you an extra outfit to save. So if you want, you can swap your name and your outfit at the same time and swap your identity pretty quickly. And I think there is some other things about usability here that are not really important, but I think that is mostly it about the backpack. Okay, this is all in progress. We are still deciding on some of these functionalities, if they're gonna be this way or not, but probably we're gonna be wrapping up this documentation pretty soon so it can enter in development next month. So if you have any feedback about it, it will be really appreciated. Let's go back to the presentation, and I think we don't have anything from the discoverability, right? I didn't jump to. Okay.
No.
No, we don't have any slide, right, Luis?
No, there's no slides.
Okay, so only took 22 minutes. It's okay. And this is the Slido QR code in case that you couldn't do it before. We're gonna be opening the Slido to see how many questions are there. So let me see.
If you can share the Slido in the
Yeah,
screen.
I'm opening the website.
Okay.
I'm just leaving the QR code in case somebody doesn't have not yet created a question.
Yeah,
okay, let's go for it. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this. If I can, let me see. Can I do this? Cool. You have the QR code there, always, if you need it. That should be part of the Slido thing. Okay.
Can you zoom in the questions? Like
sure.
Yeah, and I share the Slido links in the chat as well, so don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do full screen now, and is this big enough? I cannot do better. Okay, so the first one will be, okay, we have seen the explosion in VR headset. Is anyone working to get the game into VR? Yes, there is a community funded by the DAO. There is a project funded by the DAO that is a VR client that is, as far as I've seen, is working right now. I don't know the latest builds because they're actively working on it. Maybe someone can share the link on the VR client build so they can be accessed. As far as I know, there is 2 builds of the VR client. There is one for Oculus Quest that run natively and need to be installed using side quests. And there is another one that is for PC that you can use as well with your Oculus Quest or with any other Oculus device. So yeah, as far as you know, there is no version that works with any other type of device. So cool. Second question, I don't know if I can resolve this one because I don't have permission. So Natalie, if you can or someone else can, perfect, that is cool. Second question, it will never be possible to have a completely customizable avatar like with VRM, FBX, or RPM files. Okay, Anonymous, you're gonna be loving what we have in the design table. Okay, we have been actively talking about avatars. There is a problem. There is a problem of scalability with the current avatar system. Okay, we can actually implement a lot of stuff inside that, but things like customization, so where you can define how big is your nose, how wide are your nostrils, what is the separation between your eyes, that is really hard with the aesthetics and the design of the avatar that we have today. So we have been working actively on something very exciting that is going to be the next iteration of our avatars that will allow you to customize your identity in a very accurate way, okay? And also, we would like to see creators not only creating wearables for avatars, but also creating avatars itself and creating their own system of avatars with their own slots and their own bones and their own configurations. So answering your question, VRM is one of our key parts. Probably the next iteration of the avatars in Decentraland going to have a similar rigging to VRM. If it's not 100% compatible with it. So VRM is going to be a transport between importing your avatar from other parts or being able to customize your avatar and then export it to VRM so you can use it on other platforms. This is all in the works. I'm actively working on the documentation of that right now as we speak. Not as we speak because I'm not typing, but 5 minutes after we drop this conversation, we're going to continue talking on that. So yeah, be really excited about the future. It's going to be a long project, but we hope to see a very good improvement on that. Next question will be, can DCL remove the download client prompt, newsletter sign up, and set defaults to ambient occlusion off, low quality, much display, users are driven away. As far as I know, the download client is gonna be moved to a different place. I think we're gonna change the UX on there, because that was done for the Metaverse Festival. I think we put that in there in order to make sure that everybody had the best experience possible, but probably it's a downside now. Regarding the ambient occlusion and low quality and much display, as far as you know, there is a new version that is going to be releasing soon that do an auto. Ashley, maybe you can explain that better?
Yeah, the new version that's out now should do match display, and we do some automatic detection to improve the experience by matching the user's hardware requirements. So that's already in progress, and I think we're doing some more improvements, which will include the ambient occlusion as well.
Yeah, I mean, there is a trade-off between having good quality graphics for those that can afford it, and some people having good experiences on low-end devices. So we cannot really default it to low graphics, because otherwise people will think that this is all what we can do. But the better approach is actually to try to identify the hardware specs and see how much you can do with what you have. Okay. So all comments, I think yes to all, just not the default. It's just crafted for your device. So next question will be, have devs explored Hyperfy? It's worth seeing. They are doing things perfect in regards to a simple onboarding experience. The lag continues to worsen on DCL. I have explored Hyperfy, yes. I cannot really say much about the onboarding experience because it's not on my plate. Maybe Luis can talk about this, or and the lag. Yeah.
So, I mean, I haven't looked at Hyperfy. I will take a look. We are looking at improving the onboarding. It's very difficult because you make a change and you don't really see the results. Like, it's difficult to pinpoint places to improve things, but we're always looking for ways to make the onboarding better, and I'll definitely take a look at this reference.
Okay. Does anybody else have any specific comment on this? Because I do not have.
Okay, so with regards to the lag, this is one of the reasons why we have the core team now. So the core team is wholly focused on improving the latency problems in Decentraland. We have probably about 15 initiatives going on at any one point to improve the various aspects that would make it slow. And what we do is we spend a lot of our time pinpointing the slowest areas in Decentraland, tackling those ones first. So over time, we should be seeing improvements, at least over the next few months, that will improve.
Okay. Okay, next question. A slow, laggy experience for a new user can cause them to leave DCL and not return. How might the Explorer team optimize performance to avoid this? Ashley?
Yeah, pretty much the same answer as I just gave, is that everything we're doing now targets the slowest parts of Decentraland. You know, we run things called profilers. We find out what's the slowest part, and then we tackle that area of code, and we tackle it based on device. And over time, this isn't unfortunately a single fix. It's something that we have to improve in different areas of code.
I will add on top of that sometimes we can find a hard wall in terms of how deep we can go for performance. And we need to actually look for other culprits, like how the scenes are built or what are we allowing to be included through the SDK. Because right now we don't have specific limitations. We don't have profilers. We don't have, and I think the blame is on us. We don't have the right tools to provide to the developers to understand how performant their scenes are. So we need to work on that first, make sure that they understand if a scene is low performant or not. At the same time as we're working on the Explorer performance, on the basic client performance.
Yeah, and just to add to that, that's something we've been discussing internally as well. We're looking to provide these performance scores per scene so that the creators can improve their scenes, and those scenes will then work performant on everybody's machine. So I agree, we also need to tackle it from that perspective as well.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Scott. I think you. Okay, next question. Where will one have to look to find the name registration code? If they wanted to build it on a separate website, like what some companies do with DCL map.
I can take that, Albert.
Okay, thank you, Nacho.
I sent the message in the Google Meet. The same question has been done in the AMA that happened the last week. It's the question 25. I don't know if that is what you're looking for, but if not, I encourage you to open the mic and maybe ask the same question in different words so I can help you with that.
We may be sharing, maybe Natalie, you have the link for the previous AMA, so you can find the 25.
I already shared.
You have it. You already shared it. Okay, cool. Cool. Thank you, Nacho. Next question is, how can we boost the loading speed for worlds? Ashley?
Okay, it's another loaded question. So I guess we're already looking at improving load speeds in general across the board. We've already proven that we've done that. Worlds is, I guess, slightly different. It will depend on the world itself that you're loading into and how much is to load, how big are the textures, how much data is within that scene, how many models there are, how many audio clip files there are. But again, this will probably come down to the providing scene content creators with the metrics to be able to optimize their own scenes. Because we can only go so far from the Explorer side, but that is something we are working on.
Okay. I don't have any other comments on top of that. It's perfect. So next, it will be, if I want to run my own custom version of DCL through the Mac native client, how do I go about doing that? Okay, they give you a bag of good luck. I don't know. Ashley, I don't know. You have an answer for this.
I think it's not as simple. This is a link which will give you the full details. So maybe answer this question after and we can give a full breakdown of how to do it.
Okay. So wait for the transcript of this conversation.
Transcript for that one, yes, please.
I assume, there is one voted. Who tracks user satisfaction in relation to the desktop and browser clients? Is there no person tracking this? How can you know if they work as intended? We don't have user satisfaction system. We used to have something until a few months ago that it was the first time user experience. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like, how happy are you with this client, or what do you think about Decentraland and all that? But those metrics were not relevant to this. We are not measuring user satisfaction on a daily or a weekly or a monthly basis. And I think it's something that probably we should be incorporating in our flow. Because it feels so too obvious, but probably we didn't have a proper pipeline to do this. Pato?
Yeah, I can chime in because we are trying to gather data points from different points of view. So on one side, what we have recently implemented is from a player support perspective. The player support team on the foundation side is gathering feedback about it's called the user satisfaction survey. The score is extremely high. It's above 90 points, which can be considered I'm not sure how much of you are aware of the NPS concept. So that's on one side. Every time a user interacts with our player support team, we are measuring the level of satisfaction. On the other side, we are gathering a lot of technical and performance related metrics around crashes, around FPS, about lag that the users are experiencing, but does not provide qualitative information about their experience in the Decentraland. Something that we have been discussing last week, it's around how can we measure the level of satisfaction of a user based on a scene or a group of scenes. Because remember that sometimes the lag can be related not just your end client, but also around the scene that you are and the amount of avatars around you. So that is extremely important to close the loop and share that information with the content creators to enrich the content creation process. So I'm expecting in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be able to have a hack in order to start gathering this information. And at the same time, it's dangerous to avoid getting into a survey fatigue with the users, right? If you are requesting a lot of feedback, then at some point users may disengage with that mechanism to gather feedback.
Yeah.
There you go. Back to you, Alvaro.
Very good answer. Better than the one that I had. Okay, next question will be, when I first logged in DCL, I had the feeling it was a huge, confusing, and desolated gallery of dubious NFTs. How do you plan to make it more a live social platform? Okay, this is like a mixed of things, in my opinion. So the content of the Decentraland is not controlled by the Decentraland. Is owned by their users, right? So it is up to us. We have responsibility in the foundation to build the best tools for discover content and to navigate the content, and also to have social interaction on the people while you are actually on that kind of content, right? So if we need to what are the tools for creating relationship between players, how your avatar looks, what is the kind of interaction that your avatar can do, how the voice chat works and how the map is rendered, what is the quality of graphics, what is the kind of things that you can do in the SDK, how easy it is to use the SDK, how easy it is for people to actually dive in for the first time into the code and start creating scene. This is all responsibility on the foundation. But creating high quality content, it is part of the owners of the scenes and the community. Yes. So this is a trade-off. I mean, this is a combination of multiple things. What we can try to do is to onboard people and try to make sure that the investment that they need to do in the platform, so they invest the huge amount of time that requires to actually build something cool and something for the platform, it is worth it. So it is a question of how healthy our community is, how good our tools are, how good our client is, how fast it behaves, it is a combination of everything. So how do you plan to make it more live social platform? It's a combination of everything. I think the whole roadmap is toward that direction. It's not only one thing. I don't know if anyone else have a better answer for that. Okay. Next one. I assume that the Explorer Desktop Launcher is an Electron shell that loads the CCL website, right? Right. Yeah, it's an Electron application that loads the kernel. So particularly it's loading the same login screen that is on play.decentraland.org, but Nacho, maybe, or I thought you put your camera on because of that. Okay. Nev has a question?
Yeah, so these are, I actually asked 3 questions in Discord and someone took the liberty of posting them here in the AMA. And so there are 4 questions listed here that are mine, and they all are concerning the architecture of Decentraland. So I've been working on Decentraland architecture for about a year, and I'm trying to do integration for Decentraland for the desktop and for the web. And so I've built integrations into the kernel repo, and then Explorer Desktop and Explorer Website, and Explorer Desktop web launcher and Web Explorer Website. Now, you've moved the kernel implementation to Unity Renderer. I don't need to make changes to Unity Renderer whatsoever. I just need to build the Unity Render repo and then have the changes on the kernel made. But for the rest, I don't need to change the Unity Renderer. So I need to know how to build the Unity Renderer, and I also need to know details on the interaction between these different repos, because it's very unclear from the documentation what is loading what. When for example, when I start Explorer Website, it asks me if I want to open up Electron or not. Is that just because I have Electron installed, or is there something in the code that explicitly asks if Electron wants to be loaded? I need details on this.
Okay. I think the best approach will be to have a one-on-one with you to see your specific problem and see how we can solve it, because this is a very low-level thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe Ashley, you have any answer for that? But
I have some very brief answers, but I don't think without helping you in detail, it will really progress quickly in this. So I agree with Alvaro. We can help you one-on-one. That would probably be easier.
That would be great. I would really appreciate it. I just need like maybe an hour of your time, and then I could really continue and finish my grant proposal. So.
Okay. Let's make sure that you can get our contacts and we can book a meeting and talk about it. Okay.
Thank you.
Pablo, Nathalie, maybe you can help this out. Okay. Thank you. Can DCL devs build its own version, Hyperfy, but improved, and call it DCL Pocket Worlds, where existing users can visit and landowners could build cool stuff? No. I don't know. This is not a question for us, I guess. This is more like a vision of Decentraland, and I don't think our vision goes into this direction. Yeah, I don't think we need to really investigate more about Hyperfy to really understand if this makes sense. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, our solution for this is Worlds, and we want to go in there. So sorry, no Hyperfy for now. How does the website know if it's being run under native English? This is the same thing, yeah. Right? You asked them. Okay, so we're gonna move that.
Skip that one, yes.
And the next one as well. Okay. So, does the SDK support customized emotes for avatars or any land or build? I will tell you no for now. Actually, today we reviewed the roadmap, and there is one of the items in the roadmap that is include animations that can be played on the avatar inside the SDK scenes. So you can have your own custom animation and more control over the avatar, right? If you want to have a specific running animation or whatever, you're going to be able to do that. It's in the roadmap. We have it designed. We have design proposal, but it's not in development yet. So we're waiting for the SDK 7, a few things that we're doing in the builder to go first because it's the priority right now, and then we will go for this one. Next question is, is there a possibility that DCL game engine will be updated at some point? If so, what engines do you have in mind? Do you mean updated Unity? Because updating means updating from version of Unity. We are doing an update of version every year. So we try to be up to date with the latest LTS. But if you're talking about Unreal Engine and Godot, there is a DAO proposal on the protocol squad to build 3 new engines. One is on Godot, another one is another Unity engine, and another one is on Babylon, I think. I don't remember. I don't know if it's in Babylon or any other engine. It's in Babylon, right? Okay. So, okay, yeah, this is one of the grants that the DAO gave to try to explore other engines on how strong our protocol is in order to have this capacity, okay? So within the foundation, we are not working on other engines. That is also an answer, okay? We are not working within the foundation on other engines, but we're exploring the possibility with DAO grants. Anything to add, Pato or Ashley? It was okay? Okay. And so for some of the answer, I'm not the most experienced person here, so just giving you what I know. Okay, Scott, the add friend function in the user passport profile is broken. What? It returns an error message. Any idea when it will be functional? Okay, it's that right now? It's happening right now?
It's intermittent. So I gave a tour with ABC on Monday, and at the beginning of the tour, 8 p.m. Eastern time, it was working fine. But in a matter of an hour or two, we have new people join our tours all the time. I try to add them as friends. It wasn't working. And as of this morning, if I can recreate it and then post it so you can see what the error message is. But
I will give you some hint. On Monday, we find out that the version or the release that we published like 2 weeks ago had a big problem on the social interaction. Actually, the metrics on number of friends accepted and approved and all that, it was good, dropping drastically. So we had to revert that version so we could go back to normal, and that's why we made it work on your next try. And I don't know if we have already fixed all the problems that build created and put it back on production. As far as you know, no. Ashley, Pato, do you know? We're still trying to fix it, right?
So we should, well, as far as you understand it, the problems that happened 2 weeks ago should be improved now. But if you are getting further issues, then do file an issue and let us know, because we can dig into that.
Yeah. Okay, that's addressed. We have only 2 questions left and 10 minutes. Oh, 1 question left. I can make it. Is it possible for DCL to make like meta pocket dimension walls where avatars, creators can just jump in and use any game engine they like, but completely DCL? Meta pocket dimension walls. Okay, this is possible, I think, but you will need to build an engine on these renderers, okay? That's the thing. I mean, we don't have an engine. We don't have a renderer, an explorer version for Unreal. So that means that we need to build, if you want to go for building another renderer, it means that you're going to need to build the integration with the social aspects, so chat, channels, voice chats, friends, and you're going to need to be implementing the map, the mini map, the settings, the explore section or discover section, the backpack, all of that, right? That is not part of the protocol. That is the way that the user interact with that world, right? Or you can go minimalistic and go into, okay, when you go to this world, you have a button here that takes you back to Unity, but here is only the engine moving and the characters and all of that, that is not the protocol either. The protocol is about how do you need to interact with their avatars on the communication channels and all of that. Yeah, that's why we were like 2 years ago before the Metaverse Festival. And then we got it to 100. Maybe in the future it will get better, okay? So, I mean, building this kind of pocket walls with your digital identity included there, it will be hard. But another thing that I can mention is that the direction that we're going with the digital identity is that will be highly interoperable, okay? That means if you create your own game, you have a web game or a downloaded game that you can install on your desktop, and that in the future integrates the protocol of avatars of Decentraland. You can have your own digital identity there, and you decide how it moves and how it jumps and what it can do. You're gonna have your own digital identity. And you can integrate Web3 technologies there. Just now, MetaMask decided to partner with Unity, and they're gonna have a integration, 100% integration with Unity, so you can create your own game there. So that's one of the things or the possibility that you can have for this Meta Pocket dimension, that it doesn't necessarily need to be Decentraland. It can be another thing. It can be a different engine, and you can use your digital identity there. This is what we are envisioning, that digital identity doesn't need to be exactly a part of the wall itself, and the walls can be built on different engines, okay? I would love the day that you don't see my ugly face in these technical AMAs, and I can use my avatar of Decentraland. So I am a skeleton with headphones, okay? So that's what I want to see happening at some point. I think it's a really long answer and a really weird answer, but I don't know the person that asked for this, if it's happy with that or not. But yeah. I think that's all what we have, right? I finished this time.
It was like right on time.
Woo, another one.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay, we need to close, okay? We need to close.
Yeah.
Digital identity will be something about ADA or European Union. ADAS of European Union. ADAS is this system that was financed by the European Union.
Maybe it's a typo.
ADAS. No, ADAS is this metaverse that was created by the European Union, financed that, and it was like 2 people dancing there, right? It was that? I don't remember. I don't know what ADAS is, to be honest. I will need to look into it.
It's electronic identification plus services. We don't have anything about that.
Is that Web3 compatible? Is that decentralized or is it centralized? I don't know. I think we're not at that point yet. We need to keep pushing and keep investigating into digital identity. Digital identity is it is a really green field to explore. So we will may go into one direction, but it be branching a lot. Another question. Oh, it's been reworked as we speak. So ADA is a system national digital identity digital wallet that I have to exit. It have to exit in the next years. Okay. As most of the problems with projects with the European Union, I'm from Spain and I know it. We need to wait until it says that it sees the day of lights, and then we can talk about it. Okay. So, but yeah, but I don't think we have plans for that yet. Cool. Done.
Okay, yeah, I think with that I can start doing the wrap-up portion. Cool. Well, thank you, Alvaro, Ashley, for your overview presentation, and thank you both again, and Luis Ignacio Pato for helping answer all the questions from the community. really excellent work from your crew as always. Love all the Backpack 2 updates you guys are working on. Amazing. And thanks for everyone else from the Foundation and the Decentraland community for being here and asking all your great questions. Also, be sure to join us on our Discord for our Grant Reboot overview happening in 30 minutes, so the Q&A session. That's going to be great. And also, our next AMA is March 8th, so be sure to mark your calendars and start submitting your questions. The event is on our Discord as well. So thanks, everyone, for being here, and see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.